Many people still view meditation as a spiritual practice that's optional, while at the same time turning to psychics as intermediaries to receive reflections of our own truths. This doesn't make sense anymore. If there were ever a time to access our own truth to navigate through life, the time would be now, and we can't do it without a clear and connected mind. Sarah McLean has been teaching meditation for decades and has some poignant thoughts as to its value in our lives.
I think that stress is building up in the nervous system, whether it be from external, too much noise, or toxicity in the environment or the food, or toxic relationships, whether it be to a job or to a spouse or to friends or to family members. I find that this layer of stress keeps us from really acknowledging our inner wisdom. So for instance, a woman came to me and she was with her husband who had had a stroke. They were visiting from Detroit. They lived in a very, not a great neighborhood. She had just retired from being a school teacher. She was there for years. And often when people come to meditate with me, I ask them, well, what do you want? You know, what do you really want? Most people haven't even asked themselves that question. And I said, well, if you dared to dream, what would you want? She goes, I want to live in Sedona. And I said, well, why wouldn't you be able to do that? She said, well, I can't sell my house. It's not worth anything. We owe more than what its value is, and I can't leave Detroit. And over maybe 3 to 6 months after she learned to meditate, she could see where her mind was actually the obstacle to possibilities occurring. So I just have to report, a year or two later, she's living here in Sedona, happily with her husband, not even a second thought about did she do the right thing. Mm-hmm. You know, so it can happen. It can happen
it
where...
It worked itself out. The creative energy can flow if you have yourself unblocked enough to be a clear, I don't want to use the word channel, but conduit for information for your own essence.
Yes, and what is our own essence? Mm-hmm. Our own essence, you know, we call it, when we are meditating, we turn our attention inward. We escape the world of form and phenomenon and turn our attention inward. And we're not looking for a particular experience while we meditate. We are literally just doing it to purify the nervous system. And when we do it, we go to subtler and subtler levels of the thinking process until we bump into the one who's having the thought, the presence, and the qualities of our presence. Each one of us has these qualities of creativity and silence and perfection and bliss and infinite organizing power.
And right action for the moment.
Spontaneous right action is one of the major access. That's what we can access when we start having meditation be part of our lives. Mm-hmm. So that when we are not exactly sure of which way to take, you know, go left or right at a certain fork in the road, when we meditate, we have access to the spontaneous right action. And we don't have to question it. We don't have to overthink it. We don't have to sleep on it. We literally know.
This is a topic that really can't be put aside any longer. For the full interview, go to consciousmedianetwork.com.